about the first lecture.
Now, the Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, by a show of hands, is there anyone here this evening that never saw the movie Erin Brockovich? All right, there are quite a few people here that have not seen that movie. This is a movie that starred Julia Roberts as Erin Brockovich. The gist of this movie is that a company, Pacific Gas and Electric, in Southern California, out in the desert, a town of 652 families, they were pumping gas out of the ground, and one of the chemicals that they were using was hexavalent chromium. You can't taste it, you can't smell it, it's invisible. These families developed cancer, children were born with birth defects, respiratory diseases. In any case, Erin was working for a law firm, and she brought it to the attention of her boss. They put together a tort, a lawsuit, suing Pacific Gas and Electric, and at the time, it was the largest tort lawsuit against the Pacific Gas and Electric Company in the history of the United States, and they got $333 million. Well, that was the movie. Hydraulic fracking is going on in 25 states. Does everybody know? Is there anyone here that does not know what hydraulic fracking is? Okay, just a few of you. I will also refresh the minds of those people that believe they know what hydraulic fracking is. A well, a gas or an oil company, they're building a well that goes down 10,000 feet. Now this well is going to be closed at the bottom. It's concrete. A mixture of water, sand, and chemicals is pumped at intense pressure into the well. And then, may I borrow this for a moment? Although the well is vertical, once it's down here, somewhere here, they drill horizontally for as far as a mile. The pressure of the water, the sand, and the chemicals causes the rock formations, the shale rock formations, to develop nooks and crannies within them. Think of what a Thomas's English muffin looks like when you slice it open. The gas, the oil that is released, is pumped back up into the well. Now, the government is going to tell you fracking is the wave of the future, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be stopping. Gas production has increased by 49% in the last 10 years, so much so, and their argument for hydraulic fracking is that, hey, gas is so much better than burning coal because coal emits those fumes and destroys the ozone layer. Acid rain. They're saying that this is going to improve our economy. In fact, we're already selling our gas to foreign countries. Oil, some people say oil production has gone up 36%. And we are supposedly seeing that at the gas prices. I don't know that the gas prices are really dropping, certainly not dramatically for me to notice. But the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, the harm that is being caused by fracking surely outweighs the benefits. In fact, I'm talking to you tonight because I want Florida to forswear off any thought of hydraulic fracking. Do you know what else comes back up this well besides the oil and gas? Millions of tons of wastewater. Wastewater. What the hell is wastewater? Well, let's face it. I don't know if it's only the pipes that have destroyed the water in Flint, Michigan. What I do know is that the water that is coming back up in the well contains over 600 chemicals, including uranium, radon, selenium, hydrochloric acid. Now, I, for one, don't like spending my money on bottled water. I'll buy one for 49 cents and I'll refill it up at the tap. And I do that until, if it's sitting out in the sun, it begins to taste funny. But frankly, the problem is that, as I mentioned, they extend the horizontal drilling for over a mile. In many cases, these wells are pumping within a half a mile of 25 million Americans. There are already 10,000 documented cases of people coming down with diseases, bronchial problems, including cancer. In fact, the well water, the wastewater, which is what comes back out of the well, is either going to be deposited in a pit on site. I have this raised, but it's going to be in the ground. And you want to know what? It's not closed at the bottom. It'll go down 15,000, 16,000 feet. That wastewater is going to seep into aquifers. It's going to get into rivers. How is it going to get into rivers? I'm going to tell you. A lot of the wastewater is taken off-site to be like desalinated. It's going to be diluted to remove as many of the chemicals as possible. But that's not really happening. You know why? It's a very sad story. In 2005, when George Bush was the president, and Dick Cheney was the vice president, who was also on the board of Halliburton, the Safe Energy Protection Conservation Act that George Bush passed in 2005 excludes all gas and oil companies from not only divulging what's in the wastewater, from saying what's in the wastewater, but they can dump it basically wherever they can. What the hell is that about? Ladies and gentlemen, I need you all to get in touch with the Florida, your congressman, right to Washington, we need to prevent fracking from Florida, fracking in Florida. You know, what this emits when it's in the ground, in the air, the radon, as I said, can't be seen or smelled. It could be in the, it's already in Pennsylvania, Wyoming, Ohio. I didn't mention the earthquakes. There have been 578 earthquakes last year, measuring 3 or less, many a little more, in Oklahoma alone. The wastewater that's going way down into the ground, it's seeping into faults, fault lines, where friction was preventing those faults from slipping. The wastewater is wearing away at the faults, and that's causing earthquakes. Who the hell wants an earthquake in Florida? I'm going to give you a few numbers. There are 1,100,000 wells right now that are being fracked in the United States. 72 trillion gallons, 72 trillion gallons of water are being used every year. When they're drilling a well, up to 20 million gallons go in at one time. Only 300,000 barrels a day of the gas is coming out of the well. You know, yes, I realize I could go on with this.
Let's have
Any questions?
1 to 2 minutes question only. Okay? Do you want to 2 minutes?
Yes, Chris?
You're talking about Florida, which is good about, you know, this fracking, but in every, as you said, all the other states have problems with it too. You know, Florida, what's the main issue in Florida? You know, of course we are
Right now, we don't want the fracking in Florida.
You know, right, but it's coming. You didn't say it wasn't in here, or was it?
It is not here now. I want you to keep it out of Florida.
Okay.
This is a serious problem. You know, 72 trillion gallons of water? Farmers are in competition to buy water now with the oil and gas companies. Do you know how many of these wells are on farms? The farmers were told they're going to be millionaires. They've leased their land, their cows, their livestock are being poisoned. They've already shown up having rashes, looking anemic. And this is the food we're eating? Fellow Toastmasters, I can't understand it. That bill that was passed by the President of the United States, influenced by Dick Cheney, there is no accountability for any of these oil and gas companies to treat the water in such a way, and it's not possible to treat the water so that all of the chemicals are out of it. I just hope that we remain safe. Thank you.